Well, hi guys. I find it quite ironic, really, that I'm the one talking about how to do a webinar. Certainly, in terms of skill at doing webinars, I'm the last person to be talking. I'm not doing great with them, but I'm more than happy to show you how I set up a webinar and got it running on Kajabi. Actually, I really enjoyed it, and there's some great features and stuff in here that I can demonstrate to you. So yeah, if you want, let's jump in and have a look. I'll share my screen with you. So where you got to go from your dashboard, let's take you back to the dashboard, is this pipeline bit here. And I click on pipelines, and at the top right here is what we're going to do is I'll have two open actually, but we'll click and I'll just run through how to set up a new one. And you come down here and there you are in webinar, click view, generate webinar pipeline. And if I just put test webinar in, so I can then choose pre-recorded or a YouTube live, which is what we're going to do. I put my start date in, time zone, yeah, and one of my courses. So I tick on that, and that's now building away. Okay, and then what it does is gives you this. It totally populates the thing. So I've got a registration page, a confirmation page, the webinar room, which is where the actual YouTube video comes into, sales page, and then actually kind of the offer down to a product at the end here, which I didn't actually use, but let me run through for you. So registration page, you come over here, it's just like how you edit a landing page in Kajabi. So I tick on customize. And if you're familiar with doing landing pages, you'll know how this works down the side here. So this at the minute is the event that it's talking about. The features is this section. The text is this block here. And then I got my call to action down at the bottom here. So let me show you my one. Let me jump over to this. This was my registration page. So this is my one. There's my title up here, my countdown timer, then a register, a little overview, you know, rightly or wrongly. So when you clicked and you went through on to register, it took you through to the next two-stage opt-in thing here. Countdown timer, you adjust. This is set, is sitting on 0 because my time has gone over. This is your registration page, and then you can add any sections you want in there, just like you do on a normal landing page. When I come back up, so registration is stage 1, then there's a confirmation page, and again, I can totally customize that. So this is what people are seeing then once they've done that. Congratulations, you're in. I've put links in here. So I set up with ManyChat, so that when you clicked on here, it sent you over to ManyChat and you register on that, and that was good. That was a success. I was able to broadcast or set in, 15 minutes before and on the morning, and I can send them then a Facebook message with a link that went straight into the webinar room. Join the Facebook group, share it out. That wasn't great. Could have done a better job of that, but I'm just showing you how to at the minute. Then the webinar room itself, customize. This was the fun. So what happens here, actually let me blank these off a minute. Okay, so this is the actual webinar room. This is what people are looking at. This is the link that you're sending them, and they come back in. And so the video, the live feed, my video is in here now because it was pre-recorded. And so this actually serves, although there's a link next down for a sales page as the next step down, I've kind of been using this as the sales page because it's my replay page, but as you'll see in a minute, I can put all the content below that I want. So when people are watching this, they're watching me live here, and then over on the side here is the chat. And that again worked really well. People can see each other's chat. There's a conversation going on, a bit of a community. Now I set it with just that. There's nothing below that at the minute. And then I have to go over to YouTube, and I set an event for a live on there, and when the time's coming up, the kind of 15 minutes before, I hit on that and I started recording. then brought it up into this window. So I've got to have a window open, because that's the one on YouTube is where if I want to bring slides and things in, I'm doing that all over on YouTube. So you got to kind of minimize things down on your screen when you're actually doing the webinar itself. But that's coming into here. The features in Kajabi that I really liked is, as you can see down the side here, I've got all these extra elements lined up ready to go. And at the minute, any user is looking at it. And then what I did is I can tick on here and say show against these elements. And so while I'm talking away with them, none of this is changing until they refresh the page. And when I click save here, that's now just updated that page. And if I hit preview, how different is this? So now I've now got to say to my audience, can you just refresh your window and then hit that play button again, and it picks up the live feed. But have a look at that. So now when I'm talking about pricing and things, look, I've just brought in my pricing elements to put in on the page here. People can click straight off of this page, and those links I've set so that they open up a new tab. So this window isn't closing. I've got my money back guarantee. I've got some testimonials sliding around in here. And I'd also put the link, let's go back to admin. I'd also put, because I was saying to people, you can have my free equipment guide. That's still hidden on here. I haven't changed that. Show that, save it again. And so even like the freebie that I'm saying, you know, click to download the a freebie. When I use GoToWebinar, there is no way that I can put a link up to the actual offer and things. Literally all I can do is copy and paste into the chat area, or question area, I think it's called. And guys were saying it's not even clickable within that chat. They've got to then highlight it and then open up another tab and set it in. It's rubbish to say that that's a market leader. It really is clunky and unuser friendly. So I love this, and I think actually as an experience, you know, this page I've just kind of shrunk down so it's sitting off in a corner. Then on another side I've got the actual video that I'm using for YouTube, and I'm doing that. I was on camera all the time, and it's worked really well. But I just think that's incredible that I can then, yes, I've got to ask them to refresh the page if I don't want to have it all there at the start, but we're not having to leave the webinar page. I don't have to send them off to a different page to look at the pricing and stuff. It's all here in front of them. And then, you know, at that point, I just work through this and I'm going, right, well, we've got this entry level here, and then we've got this, you know, Pro Video Academy Plus level, and then there's a VIP level. And it's all on the page in front of me. And the chat is still going on there. I'm still over here talking. I think it's fantastic. I really have enjoyed doing the webinar in this. Totally recommend it. What didn't I like? As I mentioned in the comments, I've got no way on here of knowing who's actually on. So I contacted Kajabi, I put a support ticket in and said, you know, how can I split out my emails at the end? Now I know someone's just said in the comments earlier, it's not an issue to them, but I think it's really nice to send that email after the webinar and say, thank you for joining us. You know, if you want to watch the replay again, go back to the page, it's still there. Or to be able to split that and say to another group of people, sorry we missed you. You know, I know life gets busy and whatever kind of email I want to send. So I like to split them out. And the only way I can do that is, well, I don't even get stats on who was on here. I don't know how many people were even watching. I know from looking at YouTube, it tells me how many views I'm getting, but I don't know who they are. So what I had to do, and this was really Kajabi support guiding me on this, the best suggestion really was for me to, I put an opt-in form at the top of here. So right at the top is, please register and let me know you're here. And they put a name and an email in and click register. I sent the link back to this page, so it just refreshed this page for them. But they didn't need to. You know, it's only that I said at the start of the webinar, oh, please let me know that you're here. But they didn't have to fill that out. So there probably were more people watching that didn't fill that out. And when I'm sending an email afterwards, all I'm doing is sending it to the people that filled that form out voluntarily. So that's missing, and I don't know how they overcome that, because obviously the feed and that is coming in from YouTube. It would be nice to somehow lock this page down, so you need to click on it, a pop-up box first that says put your details in, and then you get to this page. I don't know how to do that. I guess if I spoke to support, we might be able to, but as they've done this pipeline, it would be nice for that to already be in there. What else can I say? So, yeah, massive thumbs up from me. I do really like it. The registration area, it showed me details. I can then set into here the emails that I want to send out. And that's another big one for me. If I'm using ConvertKit or something like that, as I do at the minute for my emails, I can set it a day after people register and things, but I can't backtrack from the webinar. So this does. I can do it 15 minutes before, an hour before, and days before. So I like that. That works really well, and I was using that. What I haven't done is to use it for the follow-up emails, because, as I say, I've had to manually go through and pull people out. And what I did at registration here is when people registered, and as you can see here on this webinar form, it also sends off to ConvertKit. So I've set up a form over on ConvertKit that do my emails to say, anyone that clicks this form, add them to a form over there. So I've got a list of all the emails, and it was just easier for me. I'm in a bit of a transition moving my emails over to Kajabi at the minute, but it was easier for me to go delete the emails in the follow-up sequence on here, and I've manually done them and sent them out to people, or scheduled broadcasts in a follow-up. So yeah, by all means, comment, ask some questions below this. I've only just done this because I know I commented on it and people said we'd really like to hear about it. So yeah, that's my experience of doing a webinar in Kajabi. It's got some stuff that needs sorting out, but it's got massive potential. The actual experience from the user, I think, would be better than anything that they've used anywhere else. I know on all of the different platforms, I've tried Webinar Jam, GoToWebinar, Webinar Ninja, what's the other one? I've tried most of them on trials and gone, no, for one reason or another, I don't like it. This is great. It's just a page. It goes to it. It works well on your phone, on your computer, whatever it be. But for me, the beauty of being able to pull up all those sales details, things like that, all on that same page is a real winner. So well done, Kajabi. You are doing a cracking job at the minute. All these new features coming out. I think everyone else must be getting pretty worried, actually, that you're taking over. So well done. I'm certainly well on board and loving it. All right, so I hope that was helpful. Like I say, I'm totally no expert on webinars, but I've had a go with this and I'm just sharing with you my experience of it. All right, thank you very much.